Good evening, everybody. Distinguished guests, heads of diplomatic missions, government officials, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Today we celebrate the National Day of Egypt, and we celebrate the day commemorating 1952, when Gamal Abdel Nasser and the free officers overthrew the monarchy to establish a republic. We are celebrating a few weeks earlier, courtesy to the holy month of Ramadan. But let me stress that today's celebration is a very special one. It takes place only less than 3 weeks after a newly democratically elected president has been instated in power by a sweeping victory that can only be perceived by the role he played as an army chief and a national hero in saving the unity and territorial integrity of Egypt. A sweeping victory that should only be assessed in its own unique context out of any other known stereotypes. For almost all Egyptians, he was not merely a presidential candidate, but he was the savior who was able to steer the country away from possible disintegration and civil war in a region torn and plagued by sectarianism, terrorism, and political unrest. Egypt today is afforded a second chance to democracy after 2 unprecedented successive revolutions, 25th of January 2011 and 30th of last June. 2 revolutions that had shook the region and to a lesser degree the whole world. While Egyptians had joined forces in 2011 for the first time in their long history, perhaps since the pharaohs, against Mubarak's regime, driven by institutionalized corruption, economic exclusion, and societal alienation, they revolted again on the 30th of last June, but this time against the autocracy of the then President Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood, who in 1 year of rule had brought Egypt to the brink of economic collapse, political paralysis, and a breakdown in public security. But worst of all, they attempted to redefine the identity of Egypt in a way contrary and alien to its long-standing culture and civilization. It's precisely that culture, defined as diversity, moderation, tolerance, acceptance, and coexistence, that was jeopardized. And this is precisely why I thought it would be a good idea, along our National Day, to expose a tiny part of that culture tonight. A culture where religions had been intertwined, and where Egyptians had always defined themselves, firstly, secondly, and thirdly, only as Egyptians, whether Muslims or Christians. Never in our long history had Egyptians been classified by religious differences or religious sectarianism. Our concert tonight illustrates that unity that we had always shared, and even transcends it to the rest of the world as a message of peace between the world's largest religions, Christianity and Islam. Our Egyptian choir, coming from the heartland of historical Cairo, will take you for some time into the mystical world as Islamic Sufi chanting and Christian Coptic choir blend in harmony, presenting spiritual music from both religions and demonstrating peaceful coexistence of culture and the historical unity of Egypt as a nation. This same message of unity applies and has been cherished here in Serbia as well, with Christianity and Islam existing alongside. Although torn by religious sectarianism through time, Serbs managed to preserve their national identity. This kind of tolerance to mutual differences is only one of indeed many important traits that our great host country Serbia shares with Egypt, such as strength of national character, pride of national heritage, as well as openness and hospitality to others. Historically, the Republic of Serbia and Egypt had enjoyed excellent bilateral relations throughout decades, dating not only to the golden era of the leaders whose images are very much alive today, Tito and Nasser, but date back to the Kingdom of Serbia, where diplomatic relations started in 1908. The traditional strong bilateral relations have always been accompanied with understanding and lasting friendship between our people. I'm certain that many of our Serbian friends present this evening have visited Egypt more than once and kept fond memories of Egyptian hospitality. On the other hand, I myself and the Egyptian community here in Serbia stand witness to the open spirit and pleasant welcome they found in a country that became mine and their second home. We are grateful to the Republic of Serbia for supporting the Egyptian people through the turbulent changes and in achieving their aspirations towards democracy. At the same time, we wish Serbia all the best towards the path it chooses for the welfare and prosperity of its people in the future. God bless Egypt. God bless Serbia.
Let me introduce the man, the author of the idea, and the founder of the group, Dr. Intisar Abdel Fattah. His job was not an easy one at difficult times to bring people together. But he made it with his genuine love for Egypt. He did it throughout. And let me tell you that the band has alliances with 26 international bands. And they have performed in many countries, European, Asian, and many other countries. And some of the performances were held in mosques, and some were held in churches and cathedrals. We also have an Indonesian group that is part and parcel part and parcel of the band, of this orchestra, and they were basically students learning at Al-Azhar University. I think the Indonesian group will be honored to have the Indonesian ambassador coming to stage to greet them. May you come to stage, Indonesian ambassador.
Bravo.